Again, if I link another spiritual angle here is Vipassana,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it just is.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. There's no rag, there's no dvesh, like getting attached to, oh, this warm cup of coffee is so nice, or why is it so not warm or so cold or so hot? Like, I either like something or I don't want it to be something. So I'm attached or I'm averse to some
Yes.
situation.
So now I want to understand this, because when I did Vipassana, I think I did it in 2014, which was almost 11 years back. I did not have the level of awareness that I have right now, but still I had like a good takeaway from there. But what I understand today is the mind is designed to run towards pleasure and run away from pain. What is the purpose of mind then?
Well, I mean, I guess we should talk both ways, right? I mean, maybe the spiritual teachers will give us a different answer. In the medical world, the human mind is probably the most evolved form of mind there is in the animal kingdom in terms of all species. So, what is the purpose of all this evolution? I don't know. I think we're doing some pretty nasty things to the planet right now with the human mind. So, it can be a very destructive tool if we don't become aware of what we're doing when we're running into and feeding into negative emotions. So, I'm not sure what is the whole purpose of the mind, but at least in the human experience, it's an option, right? You can either choose to the mind is a thinking machine. Its job is to generate thoughts. Now we can either run with those thoughts or say, okay, here's a thought coming. It's a positive thought, it's a negative thought. Do I want to engage? Do I not want to engage? Let it go. So there's me who's watching my mind do this, right? So the mind's job is to generate thoughts.
So now, for example, let's say I'm feeling a specific emotion right now. It could be fear or anxiety. It could be feelings of gratitude. So now I understand how the feeling is, but what happens biologically in my body for me to feel that way?
So yeah, so feel good hormones, right? So normally we talk about serotonin, we talk about oxytocin, we talk about natural endocannabinoids, which, we talk about marijuana and weed. That's the cannabis. There are natural similar chemicals in the brain that give you that sense of well-being, calm, and we can tap into that pharmacy naturally. We don't need to be taking any supplements. Just being around people you love, having good company, physical touch. So you can do it to yourself by being in contact with good environment, good people, good conversation. You can do it by breath work. Activate these calming hormones, the parasympathetic. There is two systems. We talked about the fight, flight, fright system. That's the sympathetic nervous system. It has to help you get up and go. There is the parasympathetic, which is the calming, rest, repair, digest. So I love geeking out. So I wear this Aura ring and it always monitors my heart rate variability.
Okay.
So it tells me if I'm in a constant high stress mode where foot is on the accelerator, it's just not giving me a calm down time. And if I do some focused deep breathing, if I am in good company, so if my best friend comes over or if I'm with my husband and my daughters, my pulse rate, my heart rate, everything moves into a healthier zone.
Okay.
And the rest, repair, digest system is more activated, parasympathetic. The good news is we can use breath work. You can use pranayam, and activate this whenever you want.
Okay, so you don't have to be dependent on something external like weed or marijuana or something else. So basically, what happens when somebody consumes a psychedelic? What happens to their brain?
You're pressing on the receptors artificially.
Okay.
So that desired effect will come. Now, receptors are such that when you do something chronic, it's like, people who have been in the kitchen for many years, they don't feel the pot so hot.
Yes.
A person who's just entering the kitchen for the first time, they'll touch something and they'll drop it.
Yes.
So that desensitization of a receptor is a normal thing, that beyond a point, if you keep on giving a stimulus, the body's like, too many inputs coming, let's reduce the response. Or if it's too loud, you're sitting in a noisy concert, you'll dull down your response to that noise just so you can focus on something. Same way, if you're naturally stimulating a receptor, then the molecule is attaching and then in its natural due course of time, it's removing itself.
Okay.
But when you do artificial introducing of stimulants, in fact, the most widely abused stimulant in the world is caffeine.
Okay.
I love my coffee though. It is artificially going and stimulating the receptors beyond what would be naturally possible by the body. So maybe more hours of it. And then because it's staying attached for longer, we've all seen like, oh, that one cup of coffee is not doing it for me. Let me have two, or I make it stronger
Okay.
because I'm not getting that hit.
Okay. What used to give you the hit initially does not give you the hit anymore
Mhm.
because it has hit the threshold right now.
Yes, the
Okay.
body's saying bus.
Mm.
Dopamine, same thing.
Mm.
What is dopamine? Why do we get, what is this whole addiction that we talk about? That first hit, and then we're not getting that same first hit. So we keep seeking, trying to get that same hit. But because the first one was so strong, the body is trying to, block such a strong response. But we want that. So we keep chasing that, chasing that dopamine hit.
Mm. So, any form of addiction, right? I believe it is a way that human beings have kind of used something on the outside to fill a void on the inside. And now, with so many avenues opened up, be it Instagram, social media, porn addiction, alcohol, and a lot of it, I mean, people have way too many things to use to numb themselves. So, help us understand, how do you talk to people with addiction?
Yeah. So the most common one that comes in my world, because I'm an endocrinologist, two of the conditions that show up in my practice a lot are diabetes and obesity.
Mm.
Now, you could say there is some element of food addiction there, but again, it's not me who, as the doctor, is going to say that. I ask the person, do you feel addicted? Do you feel like if there is something in front of you, you can't resist?
Okay.
They'll say, yeah, I feel like I have a sweet tooth.
Mm.
What is it? What do you mean, sweet tooth? No, salt cravings. Once I start, I can't stop. I'm like, but that food was engineered to be such. So if you stick your hand in boiling water and you get burnt, you don't say, I have a boiling water weakness.
Right.
It's not fashionable. It's not trendy. There's no money to be made from you having a boiling water weakness. So nobody's made a product out of it. But for you to have a chips weakness or a French fries weakness or an ice cream or a chocolate weakness, there's definitely some money trail where we can sell you things now.
Okay.
So some of this, when they say I'm addicted or I'm a foodie, some of it I have to make them realize, hey, you're normal. Even me, I love food. If I eat something very tasty, which has been created with millions of dollars of research, I will feel an addictive sense of let me have more. That's normal. It's not my weakness. It's the way my body's brain chemistry is responding to this formula.
Okay, help me understand how the chemistry is responding. For example, let's say I'm taking a packet of chips and I'm using the same flavors on a bowl of broccoli. I will not finish this, but I will end up finishing 2 packets of this.
Correct.
What is happening in my body?
Yeah. So there's something called sensory specific satiety or a bliss point. Okay. Now, broccoli, the brain, because of millions of years of evolution, it knows what broccoli is.
Okay.
Now, these chips, they used to say that don't eat something that your grandmother can't recognize as food.
Yes.
So these chips, these funny flavored and shapes, she'll be like, or it'll be like, what is this? It's not food. It's not been made at home. It can't be edible, right? So what has been done with this processed food, ultra processed or packaged food, is it is something which the brain doesn't even know how to process it.
Okay.
Okay. It has been created to give maximum stimulus to your, I'm talking about it now and my mouth is watering.
Okay.
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 I'm literally getting a saliva reaction just visualizing a packet of chips right now.
Okay, that's the conditioning that we've gone through.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And what I was about to say, but my brain is working at this, subconscious brain is working so fast.
Crazy.
I was about to narrate to you imagine how the packet of chips is working on you before you even put it in your mouth.
Okay.
When you walk by a vendor who has those red, blue packets, the coloring is also formulated. The sound of the bag is formulated. How it should open, how the lid should come off, formulated. How it's finger food. It's something very easy to be addicted, distracted. And, an Indian plate of food is not easy to eat with distraction.
True.
You have to actually look
Yes.
and, Japanese food, chopsticks, you have to actually pay attention. There's no way for you to be mindless. Now, this addictive food, mindless eating is part of the process. So the way it comes, even the amount of finger licking which you want, that also has been planned. How much particle transfer you should get.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay. So food science as a degree, they're all being hired into these labs to make these formula. So when you ask, why does broccoli covered in the same powder not give you that? Because broccoli in itself, you'll get that natural recognition. This food goes up to a limit. Now, I'll give you the same question in a different way. French fries, universally loved. I mean, who doesn't love fried salty potatoes, right? Now, if you think about the three main ingredients in a French fry, it's a potato, oil, salt. French fries, you can pretty much go on and on and on. You don't feel full. You just keep going. Broccoli, you'll be like, bus, enough, right? Now, if I separate the potato and the oil and the salt and I give you unlimited access, here's all the potatoes you want by themselves. Your sensory specific satiety, your brain will say, I recognize this as a potato. I know when to stop. Okay. If I give you the whole 5 liters container of oil, you'll be like, I recognize this as oil. I need to stop. I give you the container of salt. Your brain's like, this is salt.
Right.
But when you combine it, you have done something that evolution has never seen before.